Alright, welcome to another Warhammer game. This is, I believe, the second time I've played the Watchtower scenario under 8th edition rules. Going against a Dark Elf army that I played last week. He has his same list. I've actually tweaked my list a little bit based on some advice from somebody that sounded pretty cool. So you'll notice my list is slightly different than it has been. I'm also trying the Lore of Heavens because I've just never tried it, and I really like the way that Lore of Life supports my strategies. But I thought I'd try the Lore of Heaven and see how it went. So just to save a ton of time, there's the battlefield. The Watchtower is there in the middle, and all of his units, you can pause it and read that more carefully to see what he has if you would like to. The scenario, the terrain pieces didn't really play much of a factor, and so I'm not going to spend time talking about them. During his, placing his shades, he put them right in the tower. And I thought that was very interesting, a little bit harder to shoot at him with my bowman anyway. So I'll just flip through my army so you can just kind of see what I have. The big difference is I took out the paladin with the crown of command and replaced him just with different stuff. But one of the things I did is I added a few Grail Knights. I took out, no I didn't, added a few Grail Knights. On my battle standard bearer I took off Grommel Greathelm and put on the crown of command so that he's stubborn. And yeah, I don't know whether minor tweaks I had, but for the most part, those were the big things there. So obviously I'm weighting this right side, and it's funny because it's a Watchtower scenario, and I need, the Watchtower's in the middle, and I'm setting up on the right. But I'm thinking I have plenty of time. I'd like to get his units off the board so they're not harassing me and killing me, and then figure out how to take that Watchtower. And my big plan was, he's got so much shooting with those crossbows, I just wanted to stay away from him. But I put my men-at-arms there so that they could eventually occupy the building if they could survive. More importantly, though, they're the target of all of the shooting of magic, or at least most of it, because he doesn't want me to hit the building with him. The thing is, if he has anybody defending the building, my peasants are not going to win that fight. So my plan is to let the peasants sit there and absorb everything, and then later rounds, after I clean up his army, get my bowmen to occupy the building at the end. A backup plan is if nobody's in the building and I have more victory points, then I win. And so that would really be more of my strategy. So this is my far left side. He's got that killing zone with 30 crossbows on the left. I'm really kind of concerned about him plopping that warrior unit in the building. The shades don't bother me. I can kill them with shooting and magic pretty easily. 40 spearmen's a different story. And so a lot of my trebuchets are trying to weaken the spearman unit because I don't want them to pop in that building on turn 5 and then win the game that way. So magic phase is I use a feedback scroll, put a wound on his sorceress. Those are the effects of his magic phase. Weapon skill 1 on my Pegasus Knights. Bowman can't shoot, not really worried about it. His shooting does kill one of these guys. This is on the far right. On my next turn I would like them to charge his bolt thrower. So he makes it to where they have weapon skill 1. I'm sorry, that was done already. He took him down 1, and then he starts picking on these men-at-arms. And that is okay. So we'll go to Brett turn 1. Men-at-arms stay right where they're at. Lower left-hand corner. Pegasus Knights fly around. I don't know what I want to do with them yet. So I just kind of flew them back here. Give some leadership to those peasants. Yeah, there's another view of the board. Now here on the right. Basically, I wanted to make sure that 2 units got into his unit, so I declared a charge with both of my big knight units, with my general and with my questing knights. And I only needed 2 of them to get in there, but I really wanted 2 to get in. And the 2 that made it were the 2 I wanted to. They were the first ones I rolled. And after they made it, the other 2 didn't roll high enough anyway, so they just failed charge. And I like how that worked out. Plenty happy with that. You'll notice the Pegasus Knights did not make it to the bolt thrower. In hindsight, I don't think I had distance to make it anyway, so I'm just moving up. They'll have to withstand another round of shooting from the bolt thrower before they charge, but I'm okay with that. So there's another view. I really like it when we get some painted armies on the table. I thought it was a pretty cool picture. I got a lot going in, but yeah, you never know if you have enough to make it. So the trebuchet, I decided to aim the rock right on his sorceress's head because if it veered any way, I was going to hit something that I wanted, and it didn't. It was a direct hit and just splattered her. I was hoping that the template would nick the building, but it didn't. Combat went my way. I did not kill his general, but I killed enough and won combat by enough to break him, even with his reroll, but I wasn't able to chase him down. And that's huge, because now he's going to rally and I've got to do the same thing all over again. So we're going to go to Dark Elf turn 2. If you look at the top right, he rallies with those guys. Otherwise, you can see his Witch Elves and his Warriors just moving up. I'm not sure why he didn't charge his Witch Elves into the flank of my Knights. I think at the time I remember thinking he had a good reason for whatever it is he tried to do. But anyway, he didn't do that. He marches up with his crossbows because nothing's in range anyway. So it's 60 rounds of shots I don't have to withstand. Yeah, so Magic picks on these guys. I forgot what he cast, but it really put a hurting on him. The good news is he did with irresistible force and had to put the big template, strength 10 hits right there, and it really helps me take down that warrior unit by 25% and killed his second sorcerer. So he's without magic, which certainly helps. Shooting it opens up. The shades just tear these guys apart with the bolt thrower helping. Yeah, but they stick. They pass their panic test. So we go to Brett turn 2. So I take in the upper right-hand corner, I take both big units of knights into his general's unit again. I just need to get them off the board. Far upper right-hand corner, the Pegasus Knights charges bolt thrower. And down here, I don't really know what to do with the Grail Knights and the Questing Knights. If I charge the Witch Elves, I'm going to get in a protracted combat. I'd almost rather just hang back and shoot at them with my archers. There's no point in charging the building because it really is weighted against cavalry. And so over here, I take the Pegasus Knights back to the left. If the crossbowmen shoot at my Pegasus Knights, I want to at least get cover from the woods. So I'll have long-distance woods and skirmishers. I think I'll be okay. And then I'm going to just fly around to the left. I don't see me doing any good here to the right. And I don't think my peasants are going to be alive much longer, so they don't need my leadership. And over this side, you can see I'm just sitting there with these knights. I just don't know what to do with them. There's my charge. General's lining up for charges on the Cauldron of Blood. And after combat, his general got defeated in combat, ran off the board with the Coldwood Knights. I pursued with the Knights Errant just to make sure they were dead, and my Knights of the Realm reformed to face the Witch Elves. So really happy with how my game plan's going in terms of getting his units off the board. The right flank is completely mine, and I don't know what to do with the Watchtower. I can't assault it with cavalry and hope to do any good whatsoever. So really, I'm just trying to take care of everything else, make sure I have all the other victory points, and then do what I can just to try to empty that building out. So anything that goes in there, just kill it. The problem is, I hit it with a trebuchet, it'll do d6 strength 5 or 10 hits, but if he gets those warriors in there with 30 of them, d6 at a pop isn't going to do me any good. So we'll see how my plan progresses in the next phase.